So I dreamed that I was holding a magazine. It was shaped about like a CD, period. I guess it had just come in the mail, period. I think it was Rolling Stone, and the very first page opened out, and it looked like it was just a two-page thing, and it had all these songs, and it's something about the Rolling Stones new CD. But it actually opened out into like 4 pages, and there were like hundreds of songs, and I wasn't familiar with them. And then the next page was like also kind of a pull-out thing, it looked like, and it had two like South American native people, a man and a woman, and they were naked, and the woman was her body was so beautiful and so smooth. And I opened it out, and on the next double page, there were another couple, and he was completely, his entire body covered with hair, hairier than like an ape. And she may have been also. But it opened up more, and there were a bunch of people, like, I don't know, maybe dozens or 100, and they were natives, and they were on a like terraced pool, like maybe it had it was like seat, rows of like not seats, but that sort of thing, and it all had water, all on the seats and all, but again, it wasn't like natural water. It was a pool, and down at the bottom, it was more of a pool, but very shallow. And as I was looking at it, I think I was trying to take my fingers to like make something bigger, probably, see the girls. And as I was doing that, the people started moving, even though it was a picture. And then shortly after that, it became a view like I was seeing reality. And when I did, there was this boy, or maybe teenager, uh, probably more of a like 12-year-old or so. And he was standing or sitting, and all of a sudden he got up and ran towards the place where there was actually a pool that had a wall on between him and the pool that was like maybe, I don't know, 4 feet or tall or so. And he jumped up and he grabbed this fish that kind of was like a dragon with like a Dimetrodon sail, but short. And he grabbed it by the tail, and then he grabbed it by the tail and then was holding it all the way up to almost where the mouth was, kind of at his chest. And I was worried it was gonna like bite him or something. And he kissed it on the cheek, and then, like a second later, he kind of released it, pushing it forward back into the water. Shortly after that, a like leopard that wasn't like an adult leopard, but it was big, came up behind the fish swimming and bit it. And the fish, realizing its tail had been bit, kind of swam away. Then after that, the fish kind of came up behind this native man, and he had like a ponytail, black hair ponytail, and the fish grabbed him by that. The man was like in the water up to like his head. I don't know if he was swimming or what he was doing, but obviously the water was at least 5 feet tall, I guess. And the fish grabbed his ponytail and dragged him under. And I could see that he was under for a while and was hoping somebody would see him and save him so he wouldn't drown. And then there was another native man, and he was kind of in that same area and maybe walking, getting a little bit closer there, but it would have been over to his side, maybe. And then after a little while, he did look down, and you could see this like black hair at the bottom near the man's feet. And shortly after that, I think it was that man, it might have been somebody else, and they said he's dead. And this boy, it could have been the first boy, I'm not sure. He was not very dark at all, kind of just whitish, and he seemed like he might have been younger than that first boy, but I don't know. He kind of had um, a round face, and he definitely wasn't skinny. And he said, "No, he's saved." And a man said, "Yes." Period. In other words, yeah, that's what it is. That's what we think is when somebody dies, they're saved. And I was thinking, do they mean saved from this world? And then I think my alarm woke me up.